Hail, hail, and welcome to A Celtic World. We are a YouTube channel and series of podcasts that cast a light on the worldwide Celtic support. On our show, we try to bring some of the North American perspective on the goings-on at the club. And it was a busy week, to say the least, for Celtic this week. From the Hearts match at Tynecastle, to Brendan resigning, to Dermot Desmond shitting on Brendan on his way out the door, Martin O'Neill coming back along with Sean Maloney, and then a solid result today at home versus Falkirk, which is nice to finally have something positive to talk about. So lots to talk about. So let's get to it. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good.
My partner in crime.
A little bit better today.
That's good. And then we got our guest tonight. We got Sean Finn from Pittsburgh. Sean, how you doing? Good to have you back on.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel like what I watched today was like the shackles coming off of like what this team, even though they're not great, could be. And just great to see, and I can't wait till Sunday.
Yeah, same here. Sean is our, I think we've had 18 episodes so far. I think Sean's been on like a third of them. He's our most prolific guest.
I love it.
And then we have Gary from Long Island. How you doing, Gary? Gary,
I'm good.
Second appearance. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys.
So I guess we'll kind of hit it right from the start. The match at Tynecastle on Sunday. Another frustrating day in the end. I mean, for me, I felt, well, outside of Dane Murray's own goal in the first half, I thought we played decently, and I was like kind of, feeling good about. And I think almost all of us last week, we predicted a draw. I think I predicted, me and you predicted win. I think James and who else did we have on last week? They both predicted draws. So in the end, I would have been happy with a draw, but kind of fell apart in the second half. Sean, how was the turnout in Pittsburgh at the club for that one? Because Hearts becoming now possibly our main rival.
Yeah, I mean, it was really solid. I think that, a couple extra people turned out, just because of the importance of the game. And they got to see a load of crap. So unfortunately, it wasn't a good. I mean, I think it was, I liken it to kind of like the death knell of really like what's been going on for the past, like all of 2025, a slow decline, descent into utter crap. So I just think that it really, really looks like, or it looked like, the players just have had enough of Brendan and the circus that has been surrounding him. And they just really didn't want to play for him anymore. I know that, like in American sports, you can kind of see that happening a lot. I think it's usually taken care of a little bit faster than what happened at Celtic. But despite the insanity that happened after Rodgers leaving, I really do think that it was for the best, and it probably will salvage this season. I know that tonight was great, and to see Martin O'Neill back on the touchline again was amazing. But I mean, this is probably just a kind of a short term. I mean, I'm hoping, and we can talk about this later, but I'm hoping that it's kind of just like, let's steady the ship and bring in somebody who the players want to play for, that knows what that. Okay, I know we're probably going to get into all of this later, but yeah, Hearts match, yeah, just shit.
Yeah. Cool. Gary, how was turnout for you guys in Ronkonkoma?
It was nice. It was nice. It was a little light being an early kickoff for the second in a row. But yeah, I mean, we had a little less than a dozen. We've been doing well, man, this first season. We have our core 3 or 4. Even Irish Pat brought his replica European Cup, so kind of covered that up. But yeah, it was a nice turnout. I started hopeful, man. You know, like you were saying, I saw some sparks throughout that match. A couple of crosses in, a couple of shots on net, like not just tippy-tappy back. The own goal was incredibly unfortunate. You know, we had made a fantastic save right before that, and then kind of, you know, I think that was unfortunate happenstance. And then the penalty late, and again, their keeper he stood on his head. He made some phenomenal fingertip saves. So I saw some signs of life, but I think overall it's probably for the best, that result. Again, as you were saying, I think some of the shackles have come off. The kids want to run about. You know, it kind of looked like they've been in class and today was free swim a little bit. You know, it really kind of looked different. So I think overall it's for the best, although it was, you know, I was trying not to get too hyperreactive, and luckily nobody else was in the bar, so I could curse and get quite colorful with my verbiage, and our 15-year-old member was not there, so I didn't have to feel bad. But you know, we take what we can. I always try to stay half full, glass half full when it comes to Celtic. I'm fatalistic in so many other things that this is the one thing that I try to stay. All right, boys, we got it. Let's just support the 11 for the next 90. Let everything else will be taken care of another day. Let's support the 11 for the 90. So, you know, I'm taking that away from it. Although I did not like the couple hours I was in the bar. We'll leave it there. Diplomacy.
How was it for you? So you had a real early start then on Sunday, Chris.
Yeah,
did you get up and watch, or did you delay it?
No, 6 a.m. kickoffs. It's gonna hit snooze for me. I'm gonna catch that joker at 9. So, but you know, at least Celtic TV had it up. Unlike you know, previously where I had waited until 9 p.m. and then it still wasn't up, and I had to cheat and look at the score. But no, I think I agree with both of y'all, Sean and Gary, that you know, it was there were signs of life. I saw some intent. I saw some good balls. I saw some real kind of passion forward, and you know, I think that the result, it was just indicative of everything that's kind of been bubbling up for a while now. Like, you know, we were talking about this, you know, kind of having hindsight. And if you look back at this season, what's transpired post Hearts result, I mean, was just kind of an indication of the things that you know, we aren't privy to, the day in, day out kind of stuff, and you know, what tactics are working and what isn't, and you know, whatever that is. I just think that result on Sunday was just a final result of all of this stuff that's been building up for a while.
Yeah.
And you know, the players, you know, you could say that there was some really good effort. I thought McGregor had a great game on Sunday, which was, you know, he hasn't been a bright spot for me a lot of this season, but I think it's because teams have figured out how to play McGregor. The ball, everything runs through McGregor, and when he's back deep and they just can pin their ears back and go after him, like, they make us ineffective. But bringing him up front, it creates confusion because, you know, the shot that you know, McGregor had on goal, and I don't remember if it was in the first half or the second half, but the shot that he had on goal, like, he ran through Hart's defense like butter.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I think you summed it up well. It was the shackles are off now, but just for Sunday in the result, I just think it was. It's just been building for a while.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we were put in a tough spot. I feel like with CCV being out, and I mean Murray's been okay. I feel like, and I kind of got not in arguments on social media, like because people who thought Trusty should start, and not that I don't know if I necessarily thought Murray should start, but I'm like Brendan's going to start Murray just because I think his MO. He likes to have a right-footed guy on the right side of the center back pairing.
Yeah.
I mean, for considering he's played like 9 games for Celtic, I think he's had some good moments, but he is very prone to those kind of errors. Like I could think of like three or four times where he's like been directly responsible for goals over his 9 appearances, which is probably not good for a center back. And then I think Colby Donovan, who's been pretty solid. I feel like he was just totally overmatched by the Greek winger for Hearts. It's like Kurzagidis, or I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Mm-hmm.
Just looked like overmatched. And on the second goal, there was, I mean, a ton of issues with that one. I think Colby Donovan was kind of didn't come out and charge Kurzagidis right away, and then Negrin backed off him, and then Murray just got out of the way of the shot for probably fear of another own goal, possibly. So just I think those inexperienced moments from our young defenders just killed us, and then the penalty on Murray, and you could see it happening. Like I mean, he put a foot in one time and nothing happened. I'm like, I was second before that. I'm like, there's a penalty coming up. He's going to foul him, no doubt about it. And then bang, trips him. It wasn't like the whatever Braga sold it, but there was contact on his leg. So that's what you got to do.
Let me just interject real quick. So I was really thinking about this when I was watching the game today, and I was thinking to myself, with such a huge game on last Sunday against Hearts, would Martin O'Neill have played Dane Murray, Colby Donovan, and Negrin at right wing?
No.
So why did Brendan Rodgers do that?
Right. I mean, I guess part of it probably lack of options, but
no,
he did have. I mean,
Trusty was available.
He was. Yeah, no, but Trusty hasn't played a lot either.
Was on the bench. Ralston was on the bench, and so was James Forrest. So you put 2 inexperienced guys in the defense, and you have a guy that doesn't even play right wing playing right wing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just doesn't add up. Like, I just think, I'm really happy that Rodgers is gone, because I think that he would have probably played the same thing today.
He may have.
He would have lost.
Yeah. And it's definitely frustrating. I mean, I think the Hearts game has kind of been covered to death like this week.
Yeah.
So no need to dwell on it too much.
Right.
So just moving on, I guess, to Brendan. And I mean, for me and Chris were talking about beforehand. I was, slightly surprised at the timing of it, I guess, but not overly disappointed by it. Or I think some people were, probably not a lot. I think a lot of people did realize it was probably time. But just happening 2 days before a midweek match, and then you got Rangers on the weekend. It's a challenging, challenging time to do it. Gary, were you surprised when you saw it? Was it Monday? I guess it was Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday. Not entirely, but the timing of it, for sure, as you were saying, having this midweek and then a Rangers Cup tie on the weekend. I think that was the biggest shock to me. But again, I was not unhappy about it. for the immediacy of it. You know, if things aren't working, you need some kind of a change. Didn't think it was going to be that big because he's not changing his formations. He's not changing what he's been doing. So this is kind of taking it to the extreme. And what is actually going on back there that we'll get into the press releases and Desmond and whatnot, who really knows? But again, that change is needed for the now. But, you know, I can't take anything really away from him. Did we all love his style of play? No. Was it overly effective overall? I mean, through the two spells, what was it? He 9 of 11 trophies, 11 of 13, an invincible, the quad. I mean, he signed some great players for us. I mean, so he has brought a lot of positives to the club in the, you know, as we've been reigning supreme over the last 20 or so years. But yeah, so something was going on that we don't all know. And I don't think it's just a lot of us being upset at boring football that isn't 100% effective. So we throw balls on the pitch and show up 12 minutes late. And, you know, I mean, that anyway, I haven't wrapped my head fully around it yet, you know?
Not with you.
Yeah. You know, I mean, he was a proven winner, and in our history, he's been there for a lot of big moments. So God bless him. Thank you. You're gone now. It's time to look forward.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Things get stale sometimes.
Yeah.
And when the players get stale too at the same time, then it's just a bad combination. Like
you know, the shirts don't fit, you know, shrink for inferior players, managers, whatever. I mean, it kind of goes across the board. You know, we're going to hold that standard. And again, I don't know everything that's going on. You know, I mean, I saw something just yesterday where somebody had posted quotes from Dyla, Lennon, Rogers twice, and Ange all complaining about recruitment and money being spent.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we had two of our, you know, under Rogers, he brought in Eddie, he brought in Dembele, two of the biggest monsters we've had since a Larson, you know, and we kind of lacked that with, you know, other than like after we lost Kyogo, we haven't had anybody that just really has to score goals to save it, like they have to do it, you know, we haven't had that. And today I think we saw a couple of proper, you know, center forward players and whatnot, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll support the 11 on Sunday.
Yep. As we always do. Chris, how did you feel when you saw the news? You texted me. I was literally walking to a borough council meeting, and I'm like, shit, I can't see all the reaction to it. I gotta go to a meeting for 3 hours.
My,
that's torture.
So I was genuinely just kind of like mouth agape. Just I can't believe this is like what is happening. And, you know, the more that I read, the more that I kept seeing, you know, snippets of stuff. And it just like the way that it happened was just odd. And, you know, I know that, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you know, y'all are in North America and, you know, don't get all whatever. But like I see the same, you know, STV clips, like all of the things. So like, I feel like I'm pretty well informed with what's going on, but just the way that it was rolled out, the way that it was like, well, you know, he resigned today and we accepted it, and you know, here's all this stuff and and you know, we're gonna move forward. And I'm like,
great point.
Where was the communication with the fans? And I know that it happened very quickly, but where was the communication with the fans that like there was something wrong? Because like a week or two ago, even there was an interview where they were talking about like, you know, I'm going to be here for, you know, the rest of the season. And I'm like, if there was that much of an issue, then how did it happen all of a sudden?
And didn't the club just put out that statement that he was backed and everything's fine and rosy, right? Everything was shits and giggles.
And I think that's for me, that's the frustrating part of it, is because it's like, okay, well now who am I supposed to trust here?
Mhm.
Am I supposed to trust the board and Dermot and say, oh well, Brendan Rodgers was doing all these things that were self-inducing and like da 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 da, or
Yeah.
do I believe Brendan Rodgers and all of the other managers, as you said just a minute ago, that like all of the list of the things that the recruitment hasn't been there from the board, and now I'm almost kind of pissed that I have to support it, but like I love Martin O'Neill so much, but at the same time it's like I don't know that I'm being fed the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I saw a thing today that said that Brendan, through some media outlet somewhere, was going to have some sort of a press release
Mhm.
to maybe get his side of the argument out. But when they rolled out the Dermot statement, like I immediately was like, well, they're slinging mud before, to get out in front of whatever's fixing to come out from Brendan Rodgers. Because my next thing, and probably the bigger thing that I think that nobody's really saying out loud as much, because they can talk about Brendan Rodgers or whatever, but it's John Kennedy. It's the backroom staff. Why is John Kennedy gone?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like almost a nothing press release to
Yeah.
say he was gone. A guy who's been
Guy's
with the
been there
club forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, 27 years. 27
Yeah.
years with the club, and he gets like
It was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I mean,
that's petty.
I really think that he probably left. He probably said, I'm tired of this. I've been here for, a long time through. You wouldn't let me go to Tottenham with Ange. So, and I've been faithful to this club, and whatever happened with Brendan Rodgers, whether he resigned or was sacked, by Dermot or whatever. I truly believe, I don't think it was them telling him he had to go. I think he just left, and they're framing it as him, leaving.
I got that impression too.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah, and I think, and not to hide behind a flag, but us being over here in the United States and the, bigger picture things that we deal with on a daily basis, it's very hard for us, or at least for me, to discern this side, that side, he said, to just completely oppose, like factored in. I don't read that publication daily and that public. So like, what is there, it's my head's been spinning over it all, like nothing seems to add up, and what conspiracy theory is going to come out about that, it's like, so yeah.
Well, I'll be interested to see if Brendan actually does release some sort of statement or whatever, because I mean, like, what happened when Dermot Desmond put out that statement on the club's official website? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in professional sports.
No.
Eviscerating character assassination on Brendan Rodgers, basically pointing the finger at all our problems are exclusively because of this guy.
Yeah.
And that is obviously not true.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But to have just the arrogance and the balls to do something like that when you're not even, you're not the owner, you're not even the majority shareholder. It's incredible. Yeah. And like at the pub today, we there's Arsenal guys that watch there as well, and everybody was just like talking to us about this situation. It's just everybody just has the same reaction as all four of us, is just can't believe it.
Yeah, and that was my like. Just I think all of us kind of have the same opinion. Like it was probably time for Brendan to go. The most embarrassing part about the
Yeah.
whole situation was the statement. Like,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
it reflected so poorly on the club that it was. I mean, that was the biggest thing for me when like I said, I didn't have time to look at the immediate reaction to Brendan leaving because I was sitting in a meeting. But then I got home and I like see that statement. I'm like, holy shit, like that. I mean, he like you were like just like you said. I think it was you, Sean. Like just eviscerated him, and
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that there won't be a response from Brendan, or even that he hasn't responded already.
But it just goes to show you that like the way this club is run is completely like dysfunctional.
Mhm.
I mean, this is like, okay, I don't want to get political, but this is like Trump level.
I thought that too. It was a comparative, I mean,
Yes.
obviously different, but
Yeah.
you saw parallels to it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially when the last couple matches, sack the board has been, sung louder than "You'll Never Walk Alone." Like so somebody's got to do something, and yeah, I definitely saw some of that there, which was a little bit alluding to without, but yeah, I'm just blown away, man. I'm if Rodgers did walk away, like I get it. You have to kind of keep your name for another job, and there's so much, and we are a vocal fan base of a huge club. I don't know. I yeah, still spinning, man.
Yeah, just shake your head.
Yeah, trying to get the right comment up. So the Boeing, I guess that is. I don't think I don't think it was embarrassing at all. I mean, I think it's pretty embarrassing. I don't think we're taking any of the blame off of Brendan. I think Brendan was.
You don't do that in public. You don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think it was just. I mean, what is the point of it other than to try to
take out an editorial in the Sun.
Yeah,
that's where you do that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the club was entirely wrong, not even the club, Dermot, and then the club, I guess, allowing it to be put on the statement on their website and stuff. Brendan's wrong too. I think he especially in the last couple of weeks, like, and you keep hearing about the Honda Civic comment and stuff like that, and which
I think was incredibly inappropriate as well.
Yeah, I mean,
you have a team of Honda Civics.
Wrong.
That was man. What the fuck?
So it's just been building to this, level of, like Sean said, like it's just dysfunctional to the core right now, Celtic. So I guess, I mean, moving on, and then to have Martin O'Neill then come in, it was definitely a breath of fresh air, and I think it probably does paper over some of the cracks. And he's a like ambassador, like always been a good ambassador for the club. So like it's going to, satisfy, I think, a lot of the fan base to have him come in. Then especially to come out today and put on a good performance. Mm-hmm. The more of that, I think, then it'll look good on the board. Then that they made this move. I don't know. He's obviously not going to be a permanent choice, but I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to last. Chris, how long do you see? I mean, do people talk? I've heard people talking like might only manage through the weekend, and others saying he'll manage through the end of the season. Like, how do you see this going?
I mean, I would like to say it would be like a month or so, but I don't think that anybody's got a timeline. Mm-hmm. Because I think that there are too many moving parts. And see, this was kind of my issue with Dermot's statement, right? Going back to that, because I'm gonna lead to it, I promise. So Dermot superseding the CEO, right, Michael Nicholson, and coming out with that statement basically does two things. It guarantees that whatever fill space there is between appointing a new manager and Brendan leaving, whatever was going to happen was all done behind closed doors, right? And I don't think that any of that stuff should have been aired publicly. I mean, I think that's what the issue is that from a professional standpoint, you just don't air your dirty laundry like that. Like if there was that much animosity, somebody at the club, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
As Dr. J says.
That's exactly my point, is that it supersedes and breaks this entire structure apart, because if the issue has been the board and the amount of recruiting that goes into it, there's no foresight as to what was going to happen at the end of the year, which may have been a valid argument for Brendan Rodgers, because there were, interviews before where he's like, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to be there. Well, he's not. He pulled the same bullshit kind of things that happened the first time. We should have learned our lesson. We didn't. And but we had all of this like good feelings, and we're all coming back together, and we're doing, da 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 da. And at the end of the day, I just don't think that there was a plan for it. I don't think there was a plan for Brendan to leave in the middle of the season. I don't think that there was a contingency. And I think what they did was, they went to Martin O'Neill, who collectively the Celtic support holds with such high esteem that there's no way that we can't support the team and get behind Martin O'Neill. And I think that was intentional. I think that was intentional. And, going into today and the way that they performed, and we were able to pass the ball, and, Johnny Kenny's, going for a hat trick. I mean, you can't write this stuff, man. You just can't write it. Like it writes itself. But I don't think that we're ever going to get the answers. So for us as supporters, the only thing I can do is say, I support my fellow supporters, and I support the 11 on the park, and I support Martin O'Neill. And past that, I don't know who to trust now, because if it's the board and Brendan Rodgers was this terrible human being that was doing all this stuff, that's not the way you handle it.
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to get through the week. When that happened Monday, I was like, I'll worry about this in 7 days. I wasn't too worried about today. It was Sunday. I was like, it's a huge match. So I was like, as long as we can get through that, whatever happens, and I'll figure it out 24 hours after the cup tie, because it's we're not going to get the story, because at the end of the day, someone's going to come out looking like a bigger donkey than somebody else, and everybody wants to keep their good name, or the portrayed good name. So we're not going to know. We're just going to have to hope and speculate and read and see who could weed through all the bullshit, and it happened, and we had I think a fantastic game comparatively today. I'm willing to forgive a lot, come Sunday. All right, I don't give a fuck. As long as we're in the next thing, we don't look like that fucking mess across the city, because that's another thing. I hate seeing those fucking guys pop up. Maybe that's very 12 and 13-year-old of me, but I fucking hate it. I don't want our shit to stink because of those fucking clowns and everything they say.
Yeah.
Well, they won again today, so.
Yeah, that was the only the timing of Brendan leaving. I saw some of them was like, oh, Brendan ran in hit after the new manager came. Like,
yeah. Well, we were talking about that
before.
Yeah.
Who cares what they say? It's all
I know.
nonsense.
Yeah, I just don't like reading it.
Yeah.
That's me being the asshole that I am.
That's what I said. Like, I feel like I lost the ability to laugh at any of the silly statements that the Huns put out after Dermot put that. Like, I feel like Dermot just topped them all, and but
A little bit.
I'm sure I still.
You're not wrong. I mean,
no, a little bit. I think
Statement
that
FC.
can yeah, and I think that's a bit of internet culture. Everybody wants the mic drop, and that's why we see things escalate to different things. Like obviously, we want to sit. Obviously, we've been beating the shit out of them in every way for a long enough time now. It's like, okay, wait a second. You know, I hate whenever there's a penalty or a VAR when we play them, because it's just like, why can't we just be able to shut them the fuck up 100%? You know, it's like, that's just the one thorn in my side. It's like, oh, if this, then that. I'm like, this isn't like 11th grade math. Like, if then, no, dude, it happened. You know, shut up, deal with it.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, exactly. Plus, I'm a business owner, so I have to kind of mind my mouth on the internet a little bit, you know. So,
so like, I think Gary, you said it, like it's easy to forgive. Then, like, I think we've all been like ultra frustrated over I mean, pretty much since the start of the season. So, team comes out today with Martin as the manager and Martin and Sean Maloney as a managing team or whatever. And the style of play changes a little bit and a lot. And like, you know, goals start happening, which we, you know, I mean, we haven't seen anything like that this season where we're actually, you know, getting chances and scoring our chances. So it becomes easy to forgive. Like, I know, like going into today, like I was like, I'm not, you know, I'm not watch. I'll try to watch. I ended up not watching because I ditched my Celtic TV months ago after one of the Celtic. I think the Kyrat. I think I ditched it after that.
Yeah.
So I might have to get it back now because I was like, you know, trying to get a dodgy stream to watch a game, but it was impossible today with I think it was only on like pay-per-view and Celtic TV. So
right.
So then by the second half, I'm like, dude, I want to get my Celtic TV back so I can watch the second match. So like it was.
Doesn't that suck? It's just like if they would finally come out with like a decent merch release, I'm like, I'll probably buy that. But thankfully, I've saved a lot of money this year.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything either. So, so I guess in terms of the match, so Sean, did you have the pub open for the match today, Sean? And yeah. How was the crowd there?
I think we had probably 10 or so, maybe 11, 12.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Everybody was in good spirits for sure. Had a you know, just to see Martin O'Neill on the touchline again, like, was like really cool. And you know, such a just different watch, so much more positive. And the guys, you know, I mean, putting Trusty in, I mean, I thought he was great tonight, even though he's left-footed and he only wants right-footed players playing on the right. I mean, I mean, that's like just kind of some of the nonsense that, like, you know, this past like 6-8 months have drummed up. I mean, you had Trusty and Scales at Atalanta last year, and they kept a clean sheet against one of the highest scored teams in Serie A. Like, I mean, give me a break. And they both looked. I mean, I don't think, as much as Falkirk, I thought were decent tonight. Like, as far as, you know, wanting to play football. I mean, they really didn't have much of a sniff. I thought our defense was fantastic. I think Srirachi was phenomenal. I would definitely start him on Sunday. I don't think KT, I don't know what's going on with him, but he is just.
Yeah, he looks like a shell.
Yeah, he really does. But Srirachi was like, I think, the best of KT and Greg Taylor. Really. And then, you know, Ralston was solid enough. But, you know, I mean, having Jamesy on the right wing, I think, really made a difference. And thank God he dropped Tatate, you know, in the starting lineup. I thought the Engels, Calmac, Nygren midfield was good, and Tynecastle was himself. Finally got a goal.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. I mean, if Nygren has if he needs 10 chances to score 1 goal a game, I'll take that too.
He does put himself in great spots.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's something to say about that. We don't have guys who do that, and he does that. And if he does start up on that percentage of chances that he takes, I mean, he could have a ton of goals. Because I mean, he's just over the last 2 weeks. I mean, you can think of probably 10 or 15 really good chances that he had, and he's taken two or whatever, 2 or 3 of them, maybe 2.
If he gets into those spots and doesn't have to head it onto the net and heads it onto Johnny Kenny's head, then I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, Johnny Kenny looked like a pure goal scorer today. I mean, he really looked like a center forward that just, my job is to bang him in, and that's all I want to do, and that's my one goal. And then he's back on defense. It's fantastic. He's like playing two-way hockey there. I kind of like to see that.
Yeah,
it was nice to see, and I didn't even read anything before the match about that. Like, I looked at the starting 11, and I was, I don't care what anybody says. We're gonna judge everything on the next 90 minutes, and I really think that, all right, the drills are over. It's time to scrimmage, and these kids, really ran out there like they wanted to. And I think they kind of knew they had to, but they got to. They got to run and play, which I think was fantastic. And I love Jamesy Forrest. I have always loved him. He used to catch shit earlier. I think it took him a while to grow into his body and whatever, but man, he could change games, and he was running around, dribbling around players like he was Patty McCourt. I was like, I want to see him go through 7 players and score a goal. Like, I just wanted to see, and I think we took on players today. Like, it was enjoyable to watch. It was Falkirk at home, but it was enjoyable to watch. And I hope that this is the catalyst that we need to kind of carry out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what me and Chris were talking beforehand. I didn't get to watch the match, but Chris was talking about more like it was a more freedom in the performance, and there wasn't, and that's been a theme of the last couple months of podcasts. Like, there's a timidness to the way they play, and a fear of losing possession and not taking any chances when you have the ball. So and that's what me and Chris were talking about. Like, Martin gets the job 48 hours before the match. He doesn't have time to really, put in any kind of system or any kind of. So it's just probably go out and play, and
you're better than
fun,
that.
Play, and that's probably not. It's not a strategy that you can, continue for the whole season. But in a match like today, and maybe even to the weekend, maybe that helps. Take that kind of fear out of the players to lose the ball, that they will, try and do something. I don't know. How do you see that, Sean?
Yeah, I definitely. It almost felt like a weight was lifted off their shoulders. I think, but just what a circus things have been lately. There's no way that the players weren't affected, because Brendan Rodgers was obviously fighting a battle, in the public eye with, obviously, Dermot Desmond. I mean, in his coded, interview, words in the interview, and just his whole demeanor, and just feeling it, just looking like he's kind of out of answers. I mean, that had to affect the players, and whether that was his tactics to basically just pass it around the back for the half the game, or whether players were just really like you said, nervous or feeling uncomfortable about being progressive. Who knows? But I mean, that's what played out up until today. I think, even I can't think of I mean, I know we beat Falkirk 4-1 last time, but I don't remember it being like this expansive of a game or this positive of a game. Most of the games this season have been really tight and kind of nervy, and us kind of being very conservative. Today just felt like, again, I just have to say, like, just like the weight's off the shoulders, the shackles are off. Hey, boys, just play, do what you can do. We have decent players now. It's not like we don't have, guys that can play, but I just feel like they've not been let out of the, stable all season. And today was just a breath of fresh air. And, whether that translates into Sunday, I don't know. But, I think there's just seemingly kind of like a breath of fresh air at Celtic Park. And hopefully that does translate to Sunday and a good Hun scalping. And, we kind of kick on from there.
Yeah. Chris, who do you think, like, players out there today, who do you think benefited the most from like that kind of freedom?
I think they all did. I think everybody that came on the pitch today, at one point or another, they had something like Schmeichel made a save. Okay, great. He got involved and got pumped up or whatever. But I think overall, just the overall confidence of the team today was remarkably better.
Mm-hmm.
I think just going to to play forward, because like your shots on goal, right? So in one of the pre-match interviews with Celtic TV, because I pay mine every month, and never get rid of it, because it's my lifeline to watch matches. But so on the pre-match interview, they were asking Martin O'Neill, and he even said it. He's like, you got to take your shots on goal. And one of the things that this season has kind of showed us under Rodgers' system, and the backwards passing and going around the hoop, whatever. There wasn't enough going forward. I think the players needed to be able to go play forward and play those passes. Like Johnny Kinney on one of the goals, that ball across the top looked like something that we had designed for Kyogo, 100%. And Johnny Kinney caught it, put it in the back of the net.
Yeah,
like those are the kind of things that I saw, and that I was like, you mean we could have been doing this before now? With Johnny King, like, where was the intention before now? Like you said, Sean. They've been stable. They haven't been able to run riot. And
yeah. So just on your point, guess what the possession percentage difference was tonight?
It was like 60-40, wasn't it?
Yes. And we had 26 shots, 11 on target, with a 4.47 xG.
Okay.
With Rodgers, it's like 80-20 possession, 70-30 possession, with like a maybe 1 to below 1 xG and 8 shots.
Mm.
So I mean, the proof is in the pudding here.
Well,
yeah,
it's the difference between the way that Ange played, right, which is fast and loose and passing all around, and
right.
It supports and does so many different things in his system, the reverse wing backs and all that kind of stuff, right? But Rodgers slows everything down and wants to play real tight and only wants to play the ball if it's going to result in a shot on goal, right? And it's never worked that way. You have to play that balance. You have to go, if, like a team like Falkirk tonight that wanted to actually play, those balls across the top, they couldn't beat it.
Right.
They could not stop us. And that's why it was effective. I don't know, man. Like it's wild. It's wild to see because, like you said, Sean Brennan, like it's Martin O'Neill had 48 hours to prepare for today, right? And he went out there and just said, "Boys, you're better than them. Go do it." And I think that's what we needed. I think we really needed that confidence going forward.
Tell them that they're Ferraris. Not to, no, but
right.
Yeah. No,
right.
You're absolutely right. It's just
has this year, is this the best team we've ever fielded? No. Comparatively, we are Ferraris, and you can't drive a Ferrari at 50 miles an hour. And that's, I think, what we've been doing. Today, we were allowed to downshift, go forward, and for whatever reason, and again, Brendan, whether what he said or not, I'm just going to use it because it's what said. Like, if you think you have a team of Honda Civics, you're not going to drive them like a Ferrari. We are a team of Ferraris, and we have been, and we always will be. Is it where we want it to be? No, we want the Ferrari with the extra, but I call it fuck you football. We need to play a little bit like fuck you, we're better than you, Globo Gym, and we know it. But 20 years we have been, and we kind of need that a little bit. And I think, anybody can lose at any time. Anybody can get knocked out at any time. But I think we kind of saw that. We have a little bit of fun, a little bit of confidence. You don't win the game sideways. And Martin O'Neill has said it a couple of times, pre-match, post-match. He's like, well, the whole thing of football is moving the ball forward, which I don't know if it was a dig, a fuck you, but at the end of the day, today our girlfriend was hotter than our ex, I'm a man of many analogies.
All right. Well, let me take a real quick break and play our little subscribe clip for this week, and then maybe we'll just look forward to the weekend and Sunday.
Oh my goodness, this is a great channel and totally free. I simply must subscribe right now.
Gab's just taking every accent he can find in AI. So I guess I know for me, I'm feeling much better about Sunday after today's performance. Not that, I mean, Falkirk at home we should beat every time, but I think it's the way it came about that is giving me more confidence. In terms of, I guess, just things first, I want to get your perspective on lineups, but just confidence level. Chris, how are you feeling about Sunday?
Better. I mean, had today not go the way that it went, I probably wouldn't feel as good as I feel now. But I still, I mean, there's some serious things that we still are, kind of have to address, especially the injuries and, what KT's condition is, if he's injured, who's going to step up. And I think just being able to see that the squad is able to be confident in each other, and put in a good performance again. Like you said, it is Falkirk at home, but it felt different today than it's felt in a while, and I think that it needs to have that moment, and confidence going in against them every time. I'm never 100%, but I'm always right up there.
Yeah, so am I. How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I agree with Chris. Tonight was definitely gave me hope for Sunday, at least to make it a game. I haven't watched them since the new manager has come in, but they're getting a bit of a bounce. So, it might kind of even out. Who knows? I think that they've been crap, all season, but you never know when you're in a semifinal at Hamden, anything can happen. But today gave me a lot more confidence that we're going to put out the team that can win. Unlike what I think probably would have happened if Brendan was still around. I think today seeing Dyson back in what looked like pretty good shape was a lot. Gave me a lot of confidence that maybe he can start through the middle on Sunday. Then again, Kenny looked like he. I mean, I think he has something to him. I don't think he's as clinical, but today he looked really good. Especially getting service like that, which I think somebody, he's kind of a penalty box striker, kind of a poacher, and that's what those guys need. I would definitely start Jamesy, and I would start Trusty, obviously. I don't think I would change much. I don't think Hatate deserves to start for a while. I think having Engels in there and Negrin kind of playing that kind of 10 false 9 type position, whatever he's playing there, where he's in those in the box and ready to either get a shot off or a quick header over to the striker, I think will be good. I'm quietly confident.
See, how about you, Gary? Gary's always confident.
Yes, I always go with glass half full. Just right quick though, for this Sunday, it's a big match, and I just want to give a quick shout out to our Belfast Sean. It's his birthday on the 31st.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then our little man Owen that I spoke about. I think it's his 15th birthday on Saturday. And then it's my birthday on Sunday. So this is a big one for a lot of reasons.
They better win.
That's what I'm talking about, because I want to stay there from 7 in the morning until 7 at night. But other than that, I do feel confident. I think this was exactly what we needed, this type of match at home to do that. Again, anything could happen at Hamden. I wouldn't change too much from this. I definitely think Jamesy came out much more effective. If he's going to change a game, he could change it in the first 40 minutes as opposed to the last 20. So yeah, seeing Dyson in there, if he's healthy, I mean, he could run amok. I wouldn't change much. I think today was a huge boost overall for the fans, for the 11 kids on the pitch. I think overall, I feel good going in. And if you ask us for predictions, I'll give a big one, man. I think we're going to get a job done at a 4-1. I really, really believe it. I really believe it. I really believe it. I really believe I do. I had some other good things happen today, so maybe my glasses are a little rose colored, but trying to keep it right here, man. No, I think it could happen. I think there's still a bunch of crap going on over there that we don't pay as much, but I really think it could come out at a 4-1, and I'll see it. And if not, I'll come back on and I'll tell everybody I'll eat my words.
We got a cheers to Brian, IPA Wednesdays. I'm back on the IPAs now after my 2 Guinness I had earlier. So. Cheers. But it is good. Celtic winning again does it does boost the mood on a Wednesday.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time we lost 2 matches in a row. Anyway, I don't want to go back to that because it's all the good stuff, right?
Yeah. We're turning the page now.
Amen.
Wasn't it Rogers' first season back? We lost Kilmarnock and Motherwell, maybe.
I think it was. Yeah. It's been a while. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
How about this one? How about a 6-2? That'd be good.
All right, I'm cool with that. Yeah, man.
With Henrik Larsson getting a couple goals.
He probably could. He probably could.
So I guess in terms of the lineup, then, like, I mean, there's a couple questions, I guess. Ralston or Donovan? How about you, Chris? What do you go? I think you got to go Ralston. Yeah,
Ralston.
Just for the experience.
I mean, but no slide on Donovan, but
Yeah.
you go with Ralston.
Same. Sean, Dyson or Kenny up top?
That is a really good one. I'm gonna say start Johnny Kenny and bring Dyson on at maybe 60 or 70. When it's tied 1-1.
Then you got to get 3 goals for Gary.
Yeah. Well, you get Dyson with the hat trick.
There you go.
All right.
In 20 minutes.
I'll take it.
I guess, well, I mean, most of the other one, I feel like, I guess midfield you would be Engels or Hatate, but I feel like it's going to be Engels. I don't think he's going to change up from.
No.
Yeah, no.
Plus, I mean, just thinking about, and I feel like, and it's been different cast of characters for them versus our midfield. They've bossed our midfield for years. So Engels gives a little more steel, like, and power than Hatate. You know, Hatate might have that, you know, that he just makes crazy plays sometimes, but Engels with the delivery and being a little more, you know, physical in that midfield, I think that's an obvious choice. So I guess, I mean, I feel like everything else is pretty. I think it's going to be Srirachi over Tierney too. I don't know what other.
That would be surprising. Only that was KT like. Does he have a knock or something? Like, why wasn't he on the?
That's the $100 million question.
Yeah. I think people were thinking there he's resting him for the weekend,
yeah, maybe
or not, but I wouldn't change that. I mean, if he's in fine health, I would have him on the bench, but I wouldn't start that side differently. But also remember last week on the weekend, I saw McGregor with a little fire to him. Like I haven't said it. He's like, he's channeling his inner Bruni.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was there. It's a little scrappy. So like when you talk about they've pushed around our midfield, to see him, you know,
well, even today
there, whether it was today as well. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean,
it was a pretty chippy game. Like there was, I don't know who was that ref. He was like, he was kind of losing control of things a little bit.
Well, he let that early yellow card go. Yeah. Man, I would have, and again, Calmac and Jamesy and KT, we all know the three of them. We love them because they've come through and everything like that. But it's about, you know, what's best for the badge. And I think KT on the bench, if he's healthy, like to start, like I think we have to.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it, but I think we have
to. I agree. I think Srirachi was excellent today. I
think Brian needs to put some money on this and see what the odds are. Pretty high. So I mean, you guys will probably have great turnouts at the CSC, I'm sure. What time is the kickoff? I gotta plan my day.
9.
Nine. You know, perfect.
Thank God.
You know, 10 o'clock would be perfect. 9 o'clock works.
Yeah. So, 9's fine.
So it's 9 o'clock kickoff, big crowd. Yeah, 8 a.m. for Chris.
And there's no American football, so that helps us.
Yeah. So big crowd at the CSC, Celtic win, party afterwards. It'd be a beautiful Sunday. So
absolutely.
But I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for coming on, Gary, Sean. Get you on again soon.
It was great. Thanks for having me, boys.
I think next week we're gonna have our pal Tony from Glasgow on to. While he's not American, he follows all the American sports. So we're gonna pick his brain about how you become a Boston Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics fan from from living in Glasgow forever. So
All right.
plus he like supplied like half of the shit in my bar, like all my like some of my signed jerseys and some I got Willie Wallace signed picture on my wall from him from the Lisbon Lions. So look forward to talking to him. And I think we're going to wrap it up by playing the Celtic World put together a video, showing the lack of ambition from our board, and it's kind of, I guess, changes are starting to happen now. So hopefully they start bringing a little more positive things to the club. So thank you guys for listening or watching, and we'll be back next week. And hail. Talk to you later.
Check the outline.
Cheers.
Instead of this settling for mediocre, imagine what we could be.